What year is this? Did we seriously get a new Metroid game announced in 2017? Something we haven't seen in 7 years? Actually, scratch that. What dimension are we in? Because in ours, we should not be getting 2 Metroid announcements, but we did, and holy crap! So to pre-celebrate the announcement of the Metroid 2 remake, I'm going to talk about the other remake, Metroid Zero Mission. And honestly, I love this game. I've played through it like 3 or 4 times in the past, which to me is something since, as I mentioned in my Super Metroid mini review, I'm a latecomer to the series. So just like about every other remake Nintendo has ever made, this is a very well put together improvement that essentially makes it where the only reason why I would go back to the original is because of nostalgia purposes. It's got the improved graphics, enhancements to gameplay, new items, bosses, areas, and a final section that I'll get into later, all the while remaining faithful to the original. The first thing you'll notice is that Samus plays very much like she did in the later entries. She has new features that Fusion introduced, such as ledge climbing, but has the attributes she had in Super, like that version of wall jumping. This easily makes this the most fun version of Samus to control in my opinion. The makeover also helped each area feel a lot more distinct, since in the original there was a lot of copy and paste that made traveling in this non-linear game that much more confusing. And I'm getting into spoilers here, but that last part of the game, oh my god. Bravo, devs. Bravo. That was such a tense time being without your power suit and having to stealth your way through this area, trying not to get caught or else you'll get pummeled. If they ever make a brand new 2D Metroid game that isn't a remake like the one we're getting in September, I sincerely hope they include sections like this, because it worked amazingly well here. Then once you get through it and you finally unlock all the unknown upgrades, talk about feeling like such an overpowered badass. Those pricks who gave you such a hard time just a few minutes earlier are now getting cut through like a hot knife through butter. Just so satisfying. And then the ingeniousness of the final boss, where its difficulty relies on all the upgrades you picked up. Again, bring this back for future titles, it's such a smart idea. Lastly, to top it all off, the game includes a slightly modified version of the original as a bonus for beating it, letting you appreciate this remake and how far the series has come that much more. But now that I've nerdgasmed over this game so far, let's talk about some of the things I felt were lacking. First off was the bosses. Now while I do appreciate that they included new ones to help the game feel a lot more whole, I do feel they were way too easy. Not once was there one where I felt like it took too much skill to overcome, which honestly, I can say the same thing about the returning bosses. I'm glad they all got remade from the ground up to be more dynamic than their NES counterparts, but they are still pretty easy unfortunately. The only boss that really gave me any hassle was the new final boss that I mentioned earlier, and even then that's dependent on the player to make it challenging. But I think challenge was a problem with this game in general. The upgrades really did lead to this game being a lot easier than the game it's based off of. But I can't really harp on it too much since it's clear the developers did what they could. Plus, I'm someone that doesn't think lack of challenge is always a bad thing. In my opinion, it's good to have that one game so that it's easy enough to get people into the game, instead of, having it constantly beating the difficulty over your head. In my opinion, it's more of a nitpick than anything else. Only reason why I bring it up is because while I don't think it's that big a deal, some might, and it is a valid complaint, even if I don't care too much. But either way, this remake is phenomenal. I will say this right now. If you are looking to get into the Metroid series, you start here first. It'll get you well accustomed to its type of gameplay, and I bet you anything it'll make you want to play the other 2D titles right after beating it.